All right, good morning and welcome
It's the afternoon.
Good afternoon and welcome to KITT and Krash. And on today's episode, we're going to be doing a psychoanalysis of Chris McLean, the fictional reality TV show host. So first, KITT here is going to give us some info on, what is that?
What is the MBTI? Yeah, the personality typing system that I'm going to be using to type Chris McLean. So it's MBTI stands for Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. It was made to kind of section off each personality type. There's 16 of them, and it's based on a four-letter category system. So it's judging first basically on introversion versus extroversion, and then there is sensing versus intuition, and then there's thinking versus feeling, and then there's judging versus perceiving. And each person can have a mixture of these, and then there's other parts of it that are added on, like turbulence versus assertiveness, which is like an extra little thing on there. There's also the Enneagram and things like that, but I'll mostly be sticking to the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator for this. But I'll go into some other stuff briefly. But yeah, tell me about Chris McLean. What you have of knowledge of him, and I'll do my best to see what I think he would be.
On my end of this, Chris McLean, he's kind of like the Mr. Beast of reality TV. He's supposed to be like a parody of like that TV show host on the famous cartoon Total Drama, the Total Drama series. He's the host like all throughout every season, and he's always just putting the kids these teenagers through the most like dangerous, life-threatening challenges, such as how in the very first episode of Total Drama Island, he puts them to compete each other against he basically puts them on a 50-foot cliff and tells them to jump into shark-infested waters and tells them, like, oh, if you chicken out, you lose, you're a loser, you're going to be, like, you're going to be shunned and frowned upon, and you have to wear a dumbass chicken hat. And then there's an episode on Total Drama All-Stars where he literally puts them through the electric chair. And they're just like teenagers, because it's supposed to be like one of those challenge shows. So he's pretty conceited, arrogant. He loves the money and the publicity, and he doesn't actually care about the kids. Yeah.
Okay, so from what I can take just briefly there, he likes the publicity, so he has egocentric personality. There's a few personality types that definitely are egocentric, but it really depends on extroverted versus introverted kind of typing there. And it seems like he's pretty extroverted since he is a TV host and everything. Do you think he enjoys being around people, not necessarily because he likes people, but because he likes the attention? Would you say that he's better equipped to be an extrovert and like, needs people to feed off of in order to operate? Or is he just an assertive introvert?
I'd say he probably fits more into the extrovert category.
He definitely does.
Not because like he likes people. Like I don't know if he really likes people, but he likes the attention.
Yeah, so that is still an extroverted thing, and he's like an egocentric extrovert instead of a more like feeling type of extrovert, which he feeds off of people in that sense. Which it seems like he's more thinking. So we'll save that for later. So we have E first. He is an E, extroverted type, and then we have sensing versus intuition. So intuition in the MBTI kind of system more means not really like, the kind of like, oh, women's intuition, trust your intuition, that kind of thing. Like intuitive, I guess in this instance is more of a, are you innovative instead? Like, do you create new things and you're like working off of ideas, improving systems? Are you more creative? It's for the creative types and things like that, like the iconoclasts. So would you say that he's a creative type, or is he more of like a sensing type, which sensing types rely on old systems, old built systems, where they're like already set into place? He depends on scheduling and things like that. It seems like he's more innovative and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I'd say he's more like on the creative side, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
okay, so EN, we got that. And then thinking versus feeling, he definitely seems a little more conniving, I'd say. I mean, he's plotting a lot of stuff. He doesn't care for people much,
No.
it seems like. So, yeah,
He'll
he's,
kill these kids if he has to. Like, I have a theory that he's literally trying to kill the kids. I made one of my, that'll be another time.
Okay.
But yeah, like I feel like, you know, he doesn't care. If a kid dies and it gets him views on the TV show, then sweet.
Yeah, okay,
Rock
so that's
on.
a little more thinking, a little more analytical kind of stuff going on there. So we got an ENT. And then finally it's judging versus perceiving. And judging is this is a kind of hard one. It gets into murky waters here because it's kind of repetitive in things. Judging is more like being very strict with certain stuff. It's basically is like relying on planning more and liking to take a step back and judge things accordingly instead of just rushing into stuff. And perceiving is more about spontaneity and, you know, just being more also kind of creative, but just like having somewhat of a plan, but more just being willing to take risks and things like that, and is a little less caring about the outcome of things, as long as, you know, you think you can get it right. It's more about confidence, I suppose, in the end. So do you think he's a little more judging, like kind of, you know, sit back and observe things first before making a move, or is he more perceiving, where it's like he's spontaneous, he does stuff because he's confident?
I feel like he'd more just like does stuff because he's confident, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I can't really see him observing anything, like, in general.
Like, you've never seen him do it, or you can't see him doing it?
I've never seen him do it, and I can't see him
You've never seen
do
him
it.
in the back room spying on the kids? On the camera?
No, that's what Chef is for.
Yeah, right, yeah. Ooh, I'd like to type chef, actually.
Yeah?
I'm going to
Yeah?
say right now he might be an ISTJ or an INTJ. I'm making that guess.
Okay, I feel like he's definitely an I, because
Yeah.
he talk maybe like 2-3 times?
I don't even remember what his voice lines are.
He's definitely, he used to be in the armed forces for sure. He speaks, anytime he speaks, he's just yelling or making weird, like, grumbling noises.
So assertive, for sure. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris McLean, though. So we got ENTP. He's an ENTP.
Okay.
As far as we can tell, as what we've examined, he seems to be an ENTP. Do you think he's a little more, like he's an assertive type? He's a little more, he's confident and such, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Turbulent is more reserved for like it's like another version of introverted, basically, but it's just like more reticent to get into certain situations and things like that.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, ENTP A. Interesting. That is a type that I'm actually oddly familiar with because...
Oh, no.
because not for any bad reason, actually.
Okay.
Because I personally love ENTPs.
Okay.
ENTPs are one of my favorite personality types. They're really funny,
Nice.
and the reason that I like them so much is not because I understand exactly what they are, and so I like really can appreciate them. It's that I don't really understand them. They don't make major logical sense to me. They're very interesting in the way that I don't really understand why they are the way they are. They're very weird. But they're funny is the thing. I admire their confidence in a way that they still have that confidence without being an idiot about it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely do rush into certain things, and their spontaneity can get them hurt, but it's still, they put thought into it. I appreciate that. I appreciate that they're still thinking about certain things, and they have a creativity that other personality types lack or either don't utilize well enough. So, yeah, ENTPs are just, I admire them from kind of afar. All of the ones I've met in real life and such have been pleasant, a little freaky sometimes.
A little
Like,
freaky.
a little freaky. If you know what, like, no.
Freakozoids?
They're a little bit of a freakozoid type. But I like it because they're funny. Most of the time they have really good humor, which I appreciate good, intelligent humor. And
Yeah.
sometimes dumb humor too, if it's like intelligently, ironically dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're very nice. So I appreciate ENTPs, and it actually is very interesting that I myself appreciate ENTPs so much because it has been documented that INTJs, which is what I am, have a kind of like pull towards ENTPs, and they're like they just feel attracted to them in general.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like ENTPs are a common type for INTJs to admire and pair up with and such in like a multitude of ways. So I think that's really interesting and telling of like there's definitely some fact behind this stuff, and it's a little
Yeah.
weird.
You and Chris.
And Chris, oh boy,
My buddy Chris.
we might get along. I mean,
Oh,
who
yeah.
knows? I could see us being partners in crime for sure if he'd give me a cut of the money, and
Yeah.
we could brainstorm.
Cut of the money. I don't know
Yeah.
about that, but you can
I mean,
try.
well, okay, he would be definitely a little greedy, but he might allow me to do some experiments, I think, on my own.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he'd let me team up with him and be like, oh yeah, let's design new courses for these kids and get them to be more at risk for dying and such.
Yeah,
He
you
really
could
wants that.
probably come up with some really good challenges.
Yeah, that would be
I
really
feel like-
fun. I think that
yeah.
would be a good creative duo for sure. But we'd also
Yeah.
definitely have some sort of rivalry going on there. 'Cause
There
the
would
thing
be
about-
some enemies to lovers.
Oh man, yeah. I could see that happening for sure. Tension in the staff room.
In the staff room.
in the Machiavelli room.
Yeah. I am an INFJ. For a while, I was INFP, and then like, I know you don't like the INFPs.
I don't like INFPs.
Which that's valid. I haven't done really that much research on my own part about my own personality type. But I mean, like I've kept like retaking the test, and like before I kept getting INFP, and then recently I've been getting INFJ. So I don't really know what that means. You know, my balls finally dropped.
Yeah, your MBTI balls finally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine said in a good while ago. I've been INTJ for years now at this point, and I've also been a 5W4 for years now at this point with the
yeah.
Enneagram and such. The only things that have changed majorly have been, I think, well, not really majorly. It's like they kind of just swapped out for a quick instance. Like there's another,
yeah.
the 4 temperaments are another thing where it's like phlegmatic, choleric, melancholic, and sanguine.
Oh.
And I used to be choleric melancholic, but now I'm melancholic choleric.
Okay. Can you go more in depth about that?
I can try to, yeah. I actually
Yeah.
look up sanguine and the other two, but I know about choleric is more like being passionate. It's about,
okay.
the level of motivation and passion that you have, and like your energy, basically. It's like you give off a little more like violent, aggressive vibes, I guess, in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
simple sense. And melancholic is, of course, just like, you're a little depressed, or you have a tendency to gravitate towards melancholy, and you have an underlying tone of sadness about you, which is real, totally, 100%. I agree. That is me.
Okay, yeah.
So I have like violent melancholy, basically, and then sanguine. Let me look up sanguine real quick. It's being optimistic more. It's like
okay.
sanguine is like the pleasant type of like, oh, you're a nice person. You have a good outlook on life. You're healthier, which is pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthy, but you try to stay positive at least.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the phlegmatic. Yes, and then phlegmatic is like being unemotional. You're kind of cold and closed off
okay.
and such. Basically opposite of choleric.
Okay.
So you can take that later if you want and see which one of those you are. But yeah, I'm a melancholic choleric now, which is interesting. That's the major one that's like flipped. And then there's also the instinctual variants on that are like accompanying the Enneagram, which the Enneagram is actually kind of like a more specific MBTI quiz.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I was curious about the Enneagram.
It's really interesting actually. I'd say that the Enneagram has described me better than the MBTI has in a way.
Okay.
I am the epitome of a Type 5. If you want to know anything about me, just look at Type 5 and it's like, yeah, it's all there. Like all the basics of my personality. Yeah, that's it. That's me.
Wow.
There's some other add-ons there where it's like if you look at, because I'm a 5W4, The 5 is the investigator. It's like a thinking type. There's like 3 different sections. It's like mind, body, heart, or whatever things like that. And I'm in the thinking type, where it's like the investigator, which I stay in my head a lot for sure. So I'm part of that thinking type, but I'm also paired with a heart type, I'm pretty sure, where it's the individualist is a type 4, where it's like you find independence very important to your personality.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
you feel that you need to have yourself understood in a certain sense, or you feel that you are not understood and you're constantly searching to find out who you are and what makes up the segments of your personality type. And that's actually what probably leads so many people to get into this kind of thing, is that they want to find out who they are. Or it's just like some kids that are messing around and being like, I wonder what I am. I want to see what people would want to fuck me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That works. Yeah. So where do you know like more about the other types of Enneagrams?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I know a few of them because I've like looked into a few to see what exactly else I could be. Because it's definitely also like a spectrum of stuff there. You can have a tendency to like have bits and pieces from there. It's really just with the Enneagram, you have to go through each of them. You can't really take a proper test to find out because there's just so much to each of them. I'd recommend taking a test and finding out the ones that it nominates you to be best for, but then reading through all of them, because some might just have most of what it is, but there's another type that's like it just nails it 100% or has more important parts to it.
Yeah.
So basically, we got, I'll just actually look up the Enneagram website real quick, but I know type 6 is the, or wait, maybe type 6 is the investigator. It's another thinking type though, for sure. So Enneagram type 6s are usually a bit paranoid. That's what they're known for. They're very, they're also very thinking, and they stay in their heads trying to figure out situations. They're constantly trying to, I'd like to say please people, but I don't think that's always the case. They're more like, they're searching to control things, I think. They search for control in their lives and of other people, whether they really like notice it or not. They want to have control in their lives, and they're constantly paranoid, or they tend to be paranoid that other people are plotting against them. So they have that kind of like, okay, did I do that right? Is this person going to be mad at me? Like, yeah, that kind of like.
Crap.
Do you think you might be a type 6?
I don't know. I mean, like, I took a schizophrenia. I think I told you I took the schizophrenia test a little bit ago.
I took it and I didn't get as much, so I think I'm.
What do you remember? What it said for you?
It was low risk or whatever. Low risk. Yeah, and they were.
Mine gave me early schizophrenia, and it gave me a score.
Early, not even like under threat of it. It's just like you already.
I'm in the early stages. I'm
okay.
getting there. I'm starting my schizophrenia journey. And
schizophrenia retreat.
And it gave me a score. It was like 20 out of 90. I don't know. And then like all my other friends who took it, anybody else who I saw took the test, I had the highest score. And I was like, oh God, this isn't good.
That would be likely for a type 6 to develop that for sure.
Yeah.
I can read off all of these now. I got the website up finally, because there is like a main Enneagram type site that I recommend. It's called Eclectic Energies.
Okay, yeah, and we can put Chris into one of those.
Yeah, you can figure out if any of these sound like him. So we got type 1, the reformer. They're perfectionists, responsible, fixated. They're fixated on improvement. Usually better tempered, I think. But just like the first passage is like, people of this personality type are essentially looking to make things better, as they think nothing is ever quite good enough. This makes them perfectionists who desire to reform and improve, idealists who strive to make order out of the omnipresent chaos. So they're also kind of looking for control, but they're looking to improve things constantly and for the greater good in a certain way, or at least their greater good. I'm sure that this could be twisted into evil, but I think these are mostly seen as better-tempered people. But yeah, that's the reformer.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, one that wants to improve things. Then we have type 2, which is the helper. Helpers who need to be needed. So these are people that kind of depend on other people, where they want people to like them. They
Okay.
want people. Are you?
I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, it says people of this personality type essentially feel that they are worthy. Feel that they are worthy insofar as they are helpful to others. So yeah, to feel worthy of others' love and affection, they have to be able to do something that actually serves them. Like they cannot just exist and be loved by others. They have to do something to get it in return.
Oh, okay.
Love is their highest ideal. Selfless is their duty. Giving to others is their reason for being. Involved, socially aware, and usually extroverted, 2s are the types of people who remember everyone's birthday and who go the extra mile to help a coworker and spouse or friend in need. So, yeah, those people are they're detail-oriented, for sure. They're warm and emotional people is what it says. So they're definitely a feeling type, for sure.
Holy
They
crap.
want to
Wait,
be
what's that
liked.
one?
The helper, type 2. Do you think it might be you?
Maybe
It could-
it's
okay, 'cause it's
starting to
part of you
really
because-
sound like it. Yeah.
I'll read a little
To
bit
be
more of it.
honest, because I haven't gone into the Enneagrams. Anything
very
past
fun.
the MBTI, I haven't really looked into, but I'm
Some of the stuff.
interested.
It's really cool to build on it and everything. I'd say I like structuring things and listing things out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
with me doing this, it was pleasant. It was like a relaxation kind of thing where it's like, oh, this and this and this. But I remember the first time I ever listened to like an Enneagram video thing, like where someone went over all the types and everything like that, trying to dispel myths and everything and just going over the basics. I remember getting to the type 5 section and just sitting back and being like, ow. Oh no! Oh, that's me! Oh, God! Oh, it just keeps going. And it just like wouldn't stop. It's just like over and over again, hitting
It's
home.
kind of how I
so
feel right
hard.
now. It's like I'm being shot, but it's just like
Yeah.
boom,
It's
boom,
like-
boom.
Yeah, it like digs into your psyche.
Yeah, I'm gonna write these down. This is like, whoa.
Write down 2, and maybe 1 if you felt some sort of connection with that.
No.
Okay. 2s are warm, emotional people who care a great deal about their personal relationships. They devote an enormous amount of energy to them and expect to be appreciated for their efforts. They are practical people who thrive in the helping professions and know how to make a home comfortable and inviting. Helping others makes 2s feel good about themselves. Being needed makes them feel important. Being selfless makes 2s feel virtuous. Much of the 2's self-image revolves around these issues, and any threat to that self-image is scarcely tolerated. 2s are thoroughly convinced of their selflessness, and it is true that they are frequently genuinely helpful and concerned about others. It is equally true, however, that 2s require appreciation. They need to be needed. Their love is not entirely without ulterior motive.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, and then it says 2s can mistype themselves if they are not in an obvious helper role in their professional lives. They might not recognize the extent of their involvement in assisting others. So, I mean, if you do think you're in a major helper role and you tend to help people and, yeah, you feel like you resonate with a lot of this, yeah, look at this. You might be a 2.
All right,
Moving on
yeah.
to 3, the achiever. The achiever they're focused on the representation of success and they wish to attain validation. People of this personality type need to be validated in order to feel worthy, so kind of similar, but they pursue success and want to be admired. So they're not exactly going just for people. They're not trying to help people. They're trying to help themselves to impress people. They are frequently hardworking, competitive, and are highly focused on the pursuit of their goals, whether their goal is to be the most successful salesman in the company or the sexiest woman in their social circle. They're often self-made and usually find some area in which they can excel and thus find the external approbation, whatever, which they so desperately need. They're socially competent, often extroverted, and sometimes charismatic. This is actually one that I was considering for myself at a time, but then I thought, no. There's just some parts of that definitely don't resonate with me as well as it should.
Yeah.
I agree with the need, like the striving for success, but it's not necessarily as passionate as they describe it to be. And it's in a different way, for sure. Type 4, which is my wing, that's what they call it. You have your main type, which is like your Enneagram, and then it's like the wing, which just puts W in like 5W4. This is just like kind of your complementary thing, and there's all the system of like there's growth versus stress, where you can be a 5 and have like a stressful variant where you shoot off into a 7 or something like that, or you can be a growth variant and you go into 4. And this is actually assuming that I'm healthy. Because
okay.
the Enneagram assumes that you're healthy with the wing. So I'm probably not even like entirely a 4, but assuming that I'm a healthy, in the best case scenario, I would be a 4, a 5W4.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Enneagram type 4, the individualist, they are identity seekers who feel unique and different, which, okay, yeah, a little bit. People of this personality type tend to build their identities around the perception of themselves as being somehow different or unique. They are thus self-consciously individualistic. 4s tend to see their difference from others as being both a gift and a curse. A gift because it sets them apart from those they perceive as being somehow common, and a curse as it often seems to separate them from the simpler forms of happiness that others so readily seem to enjoy. Which also plays into the melancholic thing, because yes, this is true.
Yeah.
Thus, 4s can manage to feel superior to others while also secretly harboring some degree of longing and envy. I feel a feeling of being a member of the true aristocracy alternates with deep feelings of shame and fears of somehow being deeply flawed or defective. So this is basically like the what is it called? It's like an inferiority complex kind of personality type, basically, or an imposter syndrome of a personality type, basically, is what 4s are. Which, yeah, partially, yeah, that's for me. And then we get to the actual, just like epitome of me, type 5 personality type. These are thinkers who tend to withdraw and observe, and people of this personality type essentially fear that they don't have enough inner strength to face life, so they tend to withdraw, to retreat into the safety and security of the mind, where they can mentally prepare for their emergence into the world. 5s feel comfortable and at home in the realm of thought. They are generally intelligent, well-read, and thoughtful, and they frequently become experts in the areas that capture their interest. This is very funny because this is exactly what I am.
Oh my gosh.
100%, because as long as I can remember, I've chosen certain things for myself, and I've just decided I'm going to know everything I possibly can about this, and I'm going to make sure that no one else can beat me at it. And I'm going to like look at everyone and see everyone in the room and try to figure out who could possibly be better than me so I can figure out ways to beat them.
Okay. Yeah,
and that's me with paleontology, actually. That's my longest running, like I've liked paleontology since I was, before I could speak. Like, it's been there implanted into me. Like, it was like I was a type 5 before I even really developed a personality. It's just like, yep, that's it. I'm going to be withdrawn into my mind, and I'm going to be super focused on certain things that I choose to be my thing, which also plays into the individualist thing, because it's like, this just has to be mine. No one else is allowed to have it or be better than me.
That's like, you're like the master gatekeeper. You are the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You are the gatekeeper of gatekeeping.
I mean, it's not like I keep people out. I just try to beat people.
Yeah.
If they try to get
you
past
try
me
to
through
beat
the gate,
people in. It's always a race.
I try to be the first one out of the gate.
Oh yeah.
They generally. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see here. They talk about the wings. Oh, while they are sometimes scientifically oriented, especially with the 6 wing. Yeah, 6 wings are more of the like. Yeah, they are more towards science and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're just as many 5s are drawn to the humanities, and it is not uncommon for 5s to be to have artistic inclinations. That's why it goes into the 4 wing, because there's the more like strictly thinking, like logical 5s that have the 6 wing, and then there's the type 4s that are more prone to creativity and artistic abilities and stuff. And since I'm such an avid daydreamer and things like that, and I draw and I write, it's like, of course I'm going to be a 4 wing, because as much as I do love sciences, because I'm into paleontology and everything, I also have a passion for the like sci-fi kind of stuff, where it's it's sci-fi sciences. It's not like completely concrete.
It's like aliens and stuff instead of like, are there aliens? Shut the hell up. Sorry, that was a little.
No, that was funny. It was like a weird Joe Rogan moment. I don't know why. Am
I the modern day female Joe Rogan? Who knows? Is that a good thing?
On Game Theory.
Probably not.
Oh yeah. Okay. So and then here's the 5s are often a bit eccentric. They feel little need to alter their beliefs to accommodate majority opinion, and they refuse to compromise their freedom to think just as they please. Which I do think, I'm a little stubborn with my beliefs in certain things like that, because it's like I I worked hard on all of this. I'm not going to
Yeah.
change for you people if I don't see any good reason to. If you can't give me a logical explanation for why
Yeah.
I should change my beliefs, then why should I?
Yeah.
I mean, and I've already worked so hard on this stuff, so, like, you got to give me some pretty good stuff here.
Yeah. Word.
Yeah, and then we got type 6, which is the loyalist. That's what it was. Yeah, I'm the investigator. The 6 is the loyalist, and that makes more sense, actually, because, they're the paranoids that they have this kind of, like, conflict going on, this inner conflict, where they want to be wanted and needed and such and trusted by people, but they're constantly paranoid that other people are going to try and usurp them. It says people of this personality type essentially feel insecure, as though there's nothing quite steady enough to hold on to. At the core of the type 6 personality, it is a kind of fear or anxiety. This anxiety is a very deep source and can manifest in a variety of different styles, making 6s somewhat difficult to describe. What all 6s have in common, however, is the fear rooted at the center of their personality, which manifests in worrying and restless imaginings of everything that might go wrong. This tendency makes 6s gifted at troubleshooting, but also robs the 6 of a much-needed peace of mind and tends to deprive the personality of spontaneity. Do you think that's resonating with you at all, or
A little bit, to be
Okay.
honest.
I'll read a little bit more?
Again, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I mean, it's not
Probably
really
a
supposed to be
bad
either.
thing, but
There's good and bad parts of it.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
There's like healthy 6s and really bad 6s that are just
Yeah.
schizophrenic, basically.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're insane.
What the hell?
6s are generally looking for something or someone to believe in. This, combined with their general suspiciousness, gives rise to a complicated relationship to authority. The side of the 6 which is looking for something to believe in is often very susceptible to the temptation to turn to authority over an external source, whether it be in the form of an individual or a creed. But the 6's tendency to distrust and suspicion towards works against any sort of faith or authority. Thus, two opposite poles exist side by side in the personality of Enneagram type 6. So yeah, they're like the back and forth kind of like bipolar of the Enneagram. They just they constantly want to believe in something and have some sort of stability, but they're so distrusting of everyone and everything that they just cannot achieve it most of the time.
Okay, yeah.
Unless they get a healthy wing that levels them out.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so far I'm just thinking like I have written down me 2W6 question mark because like the 2 really like sounds like me, like if I know myself, which I don't even know if I know myself, that really sounds like really, really accurate. Just like the, really valuing my relationships and just wanting to, prove myself to others and being like, hey, please like me. This is why you should like me. I did this. Please, it's a good thing.
That does sound a lot like you too.
And then the 6, just the, like, unknowing and instability of, anything.
Yeah.
But keep going, because I don't know.
Okay, yeah, we just got a few more. I think there's 9 of them.
Okay,
we're on to type 7 now. The enthusiasts. These are pleasure seekers and planners in search of distraction, which I think I actually should be this partially. As a wing, if I'm really unhealthy. People of this personality type are essentially concerned that their lives be an exciting adventure, which I almost kind of agree with for myself.
Okay.
Because if I didn't have as much anxiety as I could, I would go out and do more things. And that's actually what makes me so worried about stuff, because I'm constantly drawn back from doing the things I want to be doing. 7s are future-oriented, restless people who are generally convinced that something better is just around the corner. They're quick thinkers who have a great deal of energy and who make lots of plans. They tend to be extroverted, multi-talented, creative, and open-minded. They're enthusiasts who enjoy the pleasures and senses and who don't believe in any form of self-denial. That is what is incorrect about it for me, because it definitely paints them as more being confident, but that's why I just put it as a wing, if anything, because it's more of like the planning for the future kind of, what else could I do, what's around the corner, what's going to come up for me, how can I create the best end result for myself.
Yeah.
And then I think type 8 is the challenger, which they are taking charge because they don't want to be controlled. So this is the not wanting to be controlled, but it's more like an aggressive approach to it. which I'm pretty sure my dad is this.
Oh.
And he's also an INTJ, so
Oh,
it's a little
okay.
tense actually. I can talk about that afterwards
Okay.
too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
funny I can like put together the interactions I've had with other personality types as an INTJ, and I'll go over them and see like I'll talk about what I've experienced with that.
Yeah.
People of this personality type are essentially unwilling to be controlled either by others or by their circumstances. They fully intend to be the masters of their fate. Eights are strong-willed, decisive, practical, tough-minded, and energetic. And they're domineering. They're usually leaders of companies and things like that if they can get their aggression under control and stuff. But they're very competitive is the baseline for them. And then type 9 is the peacemaker, the final one.
Okay.
They look for keeping peace and harmony. They want to avoid conflict. People of this personality type essentially feel a need for peace and harmony. They tend to avoid conflict at all costs, whether it be internal or interpersonal, as the potential for conflict in life is virtually ubiquitous. The nine's desire to avoid it generally results in some degree of withdrawal from life, and many nines are in fact introverted. Other nines lead more active social lives, but nevertheless remain to some degree checked out or not fully involved, as if to insulate themselves from threats to their peace of mind. Most nines are fairly easygoing and adopt a strategy of going with the flow. They're generally reliable, sturdy, self-effacing, tolerant, and likable individuals. Nines tend to adopt an optimistic approach to life. They are, for the most part, trusting people who see the best in others. They frequently have a deep-seated faith that things will somehow work out.
Okay, that one also kind of sounds a lot like it resonates with me. I'm not sure. I put down like two is me.
Okay,
INTJ.
yeah. It probably was
That
you.
I'm pretty sure of that one. And so then I just put down 2W69.
Okay. Perfect.
Unironically. So I don't know.
Yeah, you can read up more on that later, and then
Yeah.
you can tell me if you think
Yeah.
that works. And it might help you too, because like it's also meant to help you, where it's like looking
Oh,
at
yeah.
your wings are supposed to be healthy or unhealthy and things like that. You can look for growth in each of them and see what it recommends you're supposed to do for each of those types. Like how do you battle your insecurity and things like that.
Yeah.
Which is
for
pretty
sure.
cool. Yeah, I'm just unhealthy. I'm an unhealthy INTJ.
Okay.
Unhealthy creative.
And then I put down Chris as 3W8 question mark?
It's usually a 3W4 that ends up being the wing for that, but I think an 8, it was against the quote-unquote rules of the Enneagram, but I think it's fine, honestly, because it can be like a
There's
double
rules?
There is, and
What
it's
do
very,
you-
I usually ignore them because I don't agree with them.
Yeah, what are the rules? Why are there rules?
I think it's just
Who-
like you would have
who
to,
said that?
I have no idea. I don't really care, though, because I don't like them.
Yeah, screw them.
I think it's just like it's about like a stress versus growth kind of thing, though.
Mhm.
Let me look at the chart for it.
Where it's like each, I don't know, because you said like there's pretty much, like since you're type 5, there's pretty much two different,
Yeah, it says that there's two different things
Oh.
where it's like if you're a 2 and you're stressed, you tend to be an 8. You move to an 8. But if you have growth, like you're moving towards a better sort of sense of self, you're going to move to a 4. Because 4 is about the individualist and 2 is about constantly helping others and being at the service of other people and such. And 4 is about being more centered towards yourself and figuring out things for yourself and being independent. So that would
Yeah.
be a growth thing where you find balance between those two.
Okay.
And 8 is more like being aggressive and like aggressively trying to please people and stuff. Or like, yeah.
Okay.
It's going in a bad direction.
Huh.
So there's that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, and then there's, that one is interesting. Yeah, there's the instinctive center, which is the 8, 9, and 1. The feeling center, which is 2, 3, and 4, and then the thinking center, which is 7, 6, and 5, and such. So I'm a combination of thinking and feeling.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then you might be a combination of feeling and maybe thinking or maybe instinctive. Who knows?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, or you could be a combination of all of them, honestly, because there's a bunch of different ones that play into different parts of things and some
Yeah.
similar. But yeah, it's that kind of stuff where it's like stress versus growth is like. I
Okay.
don't think it's a strict rule necessarily, but some people just to like have it be easier since there's so many of of them. They just say, like, stressor growth in a simple term.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
All
it's
right.
pretty funny, pretty cool. So we got him as a possible 3W8, well, 3 and 8 and such. So that's, I'd say that's fairly accurate.
Yeah. I mean, like, just from, because, like, this is all just a guess, an assumption, an estimate, because I'm not Chris McLean. I know, surprisingly, if you didn't already know that, I'm not Chris McLean.
Guys, we're going to tell you, we're not Chris McLean. We don't have him here. He's not real.
Yeah, I don't know if you didn't know that, but, like, he's not here. I mean, he could be here, like, he could just kind of jump out and be like, all right, campers!
This is an entire Total Drama Island episode, secretly. He's spying on us right now.
Yeah, this is behind the scenes of the new season, because they're actually coming out with a new season. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that.
Yeah, so they showed, like, all this new cast of characters. I don't know what's going on. They have, like, the funkiest names. Here, let me.
But yeah, I agree. He definitely is. He's probably a 3. And then I would have put Achiever a little bit, but it's probably because I just didn't look into the other ones as much for him. I think he could be, yeah. I think 3 and 8 are best for him.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe you go into the 4, but I don't think we know enough about him personally to say it like 5 times a 4. He doesn't seem very, like, we don't really get any moments where he's, like, looking into himself.
He's having, like, an internal monologue.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, just from what I know from, like, observing and watching the show and doing all this, like, work on him, I mean, like, all this, like, my past several projects have been surrounding him. He seems like this dude's a psychopath.
Yeah.
He's a psycho. He's pretty...
And ENTPs are totally capable of being psychopaths, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Any of the personality types are.
Yeah, like, I feel like there's definitely something mental in him. Like, he's...
something wrong with this boy.
I mean, I don't want to say that, but, like, I feel like there's definitely, like, there's some sinisterness in him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, there's a new cast of Total Drama reboot. They have names. There's Priya, Millie, Ripper, Damien, spelt with an E, Axel. She looks like a badass.
Yeah. Miss Courtney. She was always for me.
Yeah. Chase, Z, Scary Girl. Her name is Scary Girl, and she looks like a goth chick, not like a Gwen, like
not
cool
like
goth chick.
Yeah, not a cool.
She looks like
insane.
Like, she's dressed kind of like, since this is through audio, like, she's dressed like a scary doll.
Mm-hmm.
Her skin is literally like paper white. Yeah, there's... Oh. My phone just glitched out. There's Caleb, Michelle, Julia, Bowie, Wayne, and...
I hate both of them.
They're wearing hockey jerseys and have almost the exact same face. They don't, though. Emma and MK. She's tiny and she's wearing what looks like a blazer and like a snow hat.
I want to just like cut through their legs.
Okay.
It doesn't be snapped so easily.
They can, because the way that the show is done, they have the worst, most inaccurate, like cartoonish body proportions.
I mean, I've seen worse for sure. I mean, Butch Hartman and everything, but yeah.
Yeah, Butch Hartman, like the Fairly Odd Parents shows. That's like a comedic amount of like...
Yeah. His Tough Puppy show was scary.
I remember Tough Puppy.
Scary.
Yeah, the cat, she's hot. I forgot her name.
I don't remember the cat.
It was like the girl. It was like the partner. And she was like tall. Because there was Tough Puppy.
Did she have glasses?
No.
Damn, okay, she probably wasn't that hot then.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's immediate 0 out of 10.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. It's like I love glasses on people for some reason. It's just like
I used to.
Immediately makes them more attractive. You lost it?
I do. I lost it. I don't know. Lately, the people who have never mind. Never mind. Lately, there's just been not really anybody who I've been attracted to that has glasses on, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you know, but, yeah.
For me, it's pretty much it's really exclusively people with glasses.
You have to have you have to be blind.
You have to be blind. Yeah, you need to be a little bit, no, I won't say that. No, yeah, actually, you have to be a little bit pathetic.
Pathetic, blind.
Pathetic, blind.
Visually impaired.
Lanky, so you die sooner.
Unhealthy, looks like a corpse.
Basically.
You know,
Someone
on the verge.
Crush easily.
On the verge of death. Just like.
Someone who can just absolutely destroy
like
and throw in a
sickening,
coffin.
Like, you never sleep, never eat.
Yeah,
you're just
big
skin
eye
and
bags
bones.
to show that you basically are like completely mentally gone. No.
You've been through war, like just all of that.
See, above glasses, I admire intelligence more than anything. So it actually like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh no, I have a crush on Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. No. Isn't he the pie guy?
Is he?
I don't know. Who's the pie guy?
Who created the iPhone?
Oh, that's Steve Jobs.
Oh yeah.
He's not the pie guy.
Who's the pie guy? Look up, find the pie guy right now.
Yeah, the guy who did the pie.
I memorized some of the first things of pie. I have it like.
I remember over COVID, you like
80.
memorized like the first like 50 digits
I had the first
of
50
pi.
first, and then I moved up to 80, and then I lost a bunch of them. No, I don't know how many I have.
Yeah, let's see here. Pie guy in Google. Do you know the Muffin Man? No. Is Pie Guy Pizza? No.
Who is Pie Guy? Who is the Pie Guy?
Who did pie? No.
Sure.
Who discovered pie? Aha. Who's this? Archimedes of Syracuse?
Archimedes is a cool name.
I never have heard of this guy. I swear in 7th grade, the math teacher told us on Pi Day, March 14th, 314, who the pie guy was. And it was like I swear, she told us it was Stephen Hawking. Like, I don't even...
Bastard liar.
Yeah, she lied to us.
She lied.
And then she broke her back. I'm not kidding.
That's what you get for lying about pie.
Karma's a bitch, isn't it?
That was Archimedes himself. Nope. It was me.
Yeah. What is he from? Oh, he's from the year 287 to 212 BC. Oh yeah, those were the glory days.
Oh, the good old days back when people died more.
You know, the average lifespan was 12.
Everyone was getting married and killing themselves.
Yeah, 287 to 212 BC, that was his...
Let me see how many digits of pi I can remember in
yeah,
order.
give us some pi.
We got 3.141592653589793382795028841971693993, and then it might be... Oh, I forget what the others are.
That was good.
Mixed ones. There's like 416... 816 or something like that. Yeah.
That's way more than I can name. I could probably go like 3.141592.6. That's it.
Okay.
Was I wrong?
It was right.
Oh, okay. Good.
You missed my favorite number was coming up next.
Oh. Is it 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really funny actually because
that you're a type 5.
5 has been my favorite number
and
for
5
years.
has been your lucky favorite number for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, it's an old thing for me. I love 5.
Yeah, me, that's
really
literally 2. I just realized that.
Really?
I just connected that in my brain. My favorite number and the number that I've always like resonated with and had a deep connection with has been 2.
That's really
like
scary,
always.
actually.
That is really scary
that's
now that I
weird.
think about it.
If we find someone else who
What the
also
hell?
has the same, that's gonna be a little
That's gonna be suspicious. That's a little suspicious, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest.
Maybe we just predict our own types.
Probably.
Just decide them.
You
like
know,
early
everything
on.
happens for a reason. You know? Like, I don't know.
That is a very
I don't know.
ideology.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of one of those people, but also kind of no.
Fair. Yeah. So like, you know, you might as like it's kind of like an optimistic view of like it might be, but also might not be. But it could be. So like why
Maybe.
not believe it a little bit until
Exactly.
like innocent until proven guilty kind of thing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guilty until proven innocent.
Oh, no.
I'm switched. I just checked. There's a personality database website where it's like you can look and people can vote on everything that comes to like personalities and such. I think I've sent you it before. You've been on it, right?
I'm on personality database all the time.
Okay, good.
I have the app.
Good. Yeah,
I'm like,
me too.
that's like. You know.
I was checking it today, like going through philosophical ideations and things like that in like schools of philosophy, and I found my exact personality type. Not even just like the personality type, but my Enneagram, my instinctual variants, like my other like tri-type thing, the melancholic choleric thing, like everything is perfect. It's me.
Yeah.
And it's misanthropy.
Misanthropy?
Yeah, it's hating humanity.
Oh.
Basically, that's me.
Oh my God.
I'm literally hating humans. I'm misanthropy. I'm misanthropic, and which is really funny because for years now I've claimed that as like my, you know, just like blanket philosophy of like, yeah, I'm a misanthrope. That's me, basically.
Yeah. Who was it? There's a famous
misanthropic person.
Yeah, who's like, I can't remember if they're fictional or something, but they're you know, fictional or whatever. They're like a famous misanthropist.
I mean, Harlan Ellison was a famous misanthropist. Which he's my favorite author, which I thought was really funny because
you're like the new age Harlan Ellison.
That is
you're
such
the
an
modern
honor.
day
That's
Harlan
too
Ellison.
much, which is really funny actually because I also read a bunch of his writing and everything, and I was like, this guy gets it. This is how I write too.
This is
like
this is my grandpa.
This is my
grandpa is
hot
here.
grandpa.
He is pretty hot from pictures I've seen of him.
No, like
it's
not even his
the
it's
schnoz.
his nose and his smile lines.
Oh,
like, like his smirk is like wow.
Yeah, now we're just simping over.
We're simping over old dead men.
This is not good. This is not good.
And the other day I was simping over
We've gotten
Fred
too
Meyer.
off track. Fred Meyer. The Fred Meyer.
The Fred Meyer. The store Fred Meyer. Or just like I could crush on the store Fred Meyer. I've had an infatuation with a tire before.
A tire.
A tire.
A
Yeah.
tire. Like
tire.
what kind of tire are we
sentient,
talking?
I don't know what
sentient tire. Like
It was
it's
a
like a
sentient
car tire.
From the movie Rubber.
The movie Rubber.
It's about a sentient tire that like it gains sentience and it goes on a chase and tries to go kill people. Which I just thought was really interesting, and there was just some scenes in it, and I don't know, just like something in my brain is really wrong, so it just saw a tire that was like had some blood list in it, and do you remember it? Did you watch it?
No. Never seen this movie. I want to now. It's a horror comedy. Yeah. Okay. It's a tire.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a straight up tire.
And that's pretty cool.
No, it's a cool tire. Yeah.
That's actually
it's
actually pretty cool.
So yeah, it's a funny movie. Honestly, it's a really interesting movie. It's not. It's a little pretentious. I'll say that off the bat. It's like it's a movie that might be hard to sit through if you're a little tired of the whole like trying to be greater than thou sort of film production stuff. Because it's definitely it's a meta kind of thing. It's a fourth wall breaking. Oh, this is the audience, and you're the audience, and the audience dies, and I don't know. Yeah,
I like movies like that. Yeah.
Okay, good. Then you'll probably enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. And especially like the horror comedy aspect of it. I love horror comedies.
Yeah, the comedy that
so
played
good.
into it is what made me kind of attracted to the tire.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of my worst ones, and then I got some other like issue kind of frustrations going on. A feather just went into my nose.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So, you were also talking about the choleric, melancholic.
Yeah, 4 temperaments.
Yeah, the 4 temperaments.
Yeah, do you want to know more about that? Or like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to know how we can put Chris into that. Maybe how I could
Okay.
put myself into that.
So, yeah, we got choleric, which is more like it's about passion. It's about, like, just being very motivated to do sort of certain things. Let me look up choleric as an actual definition
Yeah.
so I don't misconstrue too much of it.
So you said you yourself, you are choleric melancholic.
I'm choleric melancholic, yes.
Yeah. Is everybody, do you usually get like two of them, or is it like
Usually
just
get
one?
two of them, yeah.
Usually
I
get
mean, you
two.
can have like a main one where you can just say you're a choleric, but most people usually pair them up. You have like two lead features of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, choleric is the most active of the four temperaments. Choleric personalities are hot, dry, fiery creatures. At their best, they're ambitious, brave, and proud, but they can also be very vindictive, deceitful, and violent.
Okay.
They're known for their irritable and bad temper.
Yeah.
It's really cool that moved out of the way, I guess. And then melancholic. I think, well, yeah, feeling a pensive sadness typically with no obvious cause. So it's depression, basically.
Oh, okay.
Melancholy is just depression.
Oh.
Yeah, I have some of that.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. You'll get better. And then we got sanguine, which is a person that is enthusiastic, social, active, and overly talkative. Abby, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, Abby's definitely sanguine, for sure. And then we got, what was the other one? Phlegmatic, yeah, right. Phlegmatic is slow, quiet, with stable aspirations, and more or less a constant mood with a weak outward expression of mental states. So he's probably a choleric. He's probably choleric and
Yeah, I feel like
sanguine.
yeah.
Yeah, choleric, sanguine. Cool. What do you think you are?
I think I don't know. I don't think I'm choleric. I don't think I'm melancholic. Sanguine sounds
You are.
okay.
You're social.
It does sound pretty. Yeah, that one seems like it could match. And then, was the last one
Phlegmatic.
Phlegmatic?
Yeah, that's just being like cool, calm, collected, not really showing much outwardly.
Okay.
Which if none of those, if only sanguine resonates with you, then that's it. That's you're sanguine.
Phlegmatic, maybe a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah, it can be like you're kind of like shielded type. It's also like a wing for that.
Okay.
So yeah, you're like sanguine, phlegmatic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris is definitely choleric, sanguine. Just. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then we can look at the instinctual variants too, just to add a little extra bit of that.
Yeah. What's that one?
Instinctual variants, it's kind of like it's another one. It's only 3 of the instinctual subtypes, which there's self-preservation, there's social, and there's sexual.
Okay.
So self-preservation, SP, is you care about yourself more. You're very, you're usually narcissistic and things like that. It's very independent and such. That's self-preservation. There's the social aspect, which is like you're a social person. That's SO. You're like you depend on people in one way or another. You need to be in contact with people and stuff. And then there's sexual, which is not sex. It's just like you're passionate again. Like it's choleric basically. It's another thing for choleric, which is I don't know what I was gonna say after that. It's just passion again. And I am an SPSX.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just like independent and passionate. And then you're probably social.
Okay.
And would you say you're self-preservational? Like, do you tend to try and like save yourself from things, or are you more like giving? And then that would put you more like, if you're passionate about helping people and stuff, that would make you an SOSX.
I'd say I'm more passionate.
Yeah. Okay. So you're an SOSX.
SOSX. Sweet.
So sex.
So sex. Yeah. So what do we think about Chris?
I think he's self-preservation.
Okay.
Probably. Between sexual and social, I think he's more passionate about stuff than he is, like, depending on people and being, like, more in tune with that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, I don't know, I guess I would put him as sexual.
Okay.
I guess Chris McLean is sexual. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Just a hunch. Okay.
But if you have any, like, if you think otherwise, then yeah, like.
I mean, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
So, all right. You said sex. No.
I said sex, and I said so. No, I didn't. I said self-preservation. Yes.
Self-preservation.
Self-preservation and
So,
sexual. So it's SPSX.
SPSX.
Yes.
SX. Oh, I just wrote out sex on the last one. So on mine, I just wrote down so sex.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's SPX.
It'll help you remember it.
SOSX.
Actually,
Okay.
to help myself remember what settings to put the laundry on, I remember hot and heavy vanilla sex. That's what I put on because it's like you're supposed to
Hot
put
and heavy vanilla sex.
You're supposed to put it on like heavy duty, like heavy load.
Oh, yeah,
And then
yeah.
you're supposed to put it on vanilla is like medium because
Yeah.
it's like normal. And then there's one other one I think. I don't know.
Something having to do with sex.
It's not, yeah, something that might do sex with the laundry. I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't fuck the washing machine, I promise.
That's going over the line, okay? I don't do
on the record
that.
here. I do not fuck dryers.
Crossing the line here, you must be insane. If you think that.
You're the one who's wrong. You're the one who fucks washing machines and dryers. Not me.
I would never do that in a million years.
Not even in 20.
Not even in 2 years.
Not even on my birthday.
Not even in 10 minutes.
Oh, wait, no, they'll be done in 15. 15 minutes.
Okay,
Look
so.
at this gif of Wesker jumping. Anyway.
Is there any other, like, area of
Do you want me to try
psychoanalysis that we
other
could
areas of that?
dig into Chris McLean?
Dig our filthy paws into?
Yeah. Get our grippers really down in there. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I regret saying that.
There are a few others that I'm just not really as
Don't really know.
I don't know
as
too
much
much
about them.
the other parts of. There's some people who are so deep into this that they know absolutely everything about this. I do not. I'm
like they could just look at somebody and be like, "Oh yeah, you're
one of them. You're literally an ISFJ. You're literally
you literally 1W3."
You're literally 1W3. No, I don't make names. I just pronounce them.
You literally SPSX.
You're literally so sexy. I can't even like literally.
Literally.
Literally don't even know how to say this to you like full on, but you're literally. That's really funny. There's the tri-type stuff, but honestly, that takes forever. It takes like actual tests to get into that, and
tri-type, like.
I don't even know that much about it because it's. I think it's stupid. That's my excuse for everything
It's
I don't know
stupid,
about.
so no. Yeah.
I don't really care about it, so it's basically not even really interesting at all.
When you do that voice, you sound like Derek Zoolander.
Wait, oh yeah, that's what I was figuring out. That's the thing that I've been impersonating this whole time. I realized that. Like, what is this? A school for ants? I think I got the black lung pump. Oh wait, no, I got a better one for it. It's really funny though. I love the Derek Zoolander voice.
This is my workout room. As you notice, I have a million machines and I don't use any of them.
He's
All my ladies use them.
he's He's so good. I love that movie, honestly. It's great humor.
Yeah.
Or wait, is it? And I'm not your bro. Like, oh, fuck.
I'm not your bra.
Yeah, it was not your bra. I need to watch it again.
Oh, me too.
I think I got the black line.
Let's just watch Zoolander.
Yeah, let's watch Zoolander and do a live commentary on it.
Honestly. Like, it'll be in, like, the Blu-ray special features.
Yeah.
It's just us commentating.
After hours Zoolandering. And fleabagging.
Yeah, and
we could do a
fleabagging.
Fleabag
We'll just do a
episode.
commentary. Like, while we watch things, we'll just make a commentary.
Wait, I want to type chef really quickly. He's an I.
Oh, yeah.
Sensing versus... He's probably an S. He's probably sensing.
Yeah.
He's more
Chef.
running on systems and stuff.
IS, yeah.
IS, is he thinking or is he feeling? Has he shown any tendency to go towards his heart and like listen to his emotions, or is he
Sometimes, actually. I think there's a few bits where he's, like, crying, but not, like... It'll be, like, happy crying, you know, like, Officer Earl. Like, he's kind of like an Officer Earl in, like, From Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yeah.
You know, like, but he's not as passionate as Officer Earl is. Like, how Officer Earl is so passionate about, like, his son and his family and his job and stuff. So he might be, I don't know. He might be a feeling type.
You can put him as an X.
X, yeah.
Like, yeah, just like ISX, and then so it's like in between, because there is definitely like a 50-50 for certain people. I actually am kind of a 50-50 when it comes to sensing and intuition. I'm slightly more intuitive and stuff, mostly due to like the creativity part of things. Like fiction writing and stuff isn't usually a systematic like sensing sort of trait.
Yeah.
I definitely do have a lot of sensing where I rely on a lot of lists and old systems and stuff, but I try to build off of them.
Yeah.
And then judging versus perceiving. He seems more judging.
Okay, yeah.
He's not as... Do you think he's spontaneous and more like jumping into random things, or is he more like sit back
no.
and watch stuff? Like
No, I feel like he'd be more of a sit back and watch type. Like,
so, he's probably an ISFJ or an ISTJ, which fits. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. You know, like, Chef is like, he's like the Ferb character, where it's hard to get, like, a read on him because he's a character that's...
But not in the sexy way.
No. Oh, Ferb.
No, I was talking about Chef.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like how, you know, like he never speaks. Like as a main character, he never speaks.
Ferb? Who
Both
are we talking about?
Chef and Ferb.
Okay. One and the same.
They're the same.
They're
I mean,
brothers. They're the Luigi Mario brothers.
The Luigi Mario brothers. The Luigi brothers. Like, okay, but like for a second, like, why are they the Mario brothers? Like, would that mean that like
Mario's name is Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
or
know.
they just don't have a last name.
And then why does Mario get to take the title? Because he's older? Like,
Yeah, why does Mario get
It's
the
so
title?
freaking
Luigi's
stupid.
way cooler anyways. Luigi's so me. I am Luigi. Actually, I'm more of a Toad.
fair.
Like, Toad is my main in Mario Kart always.
I've never really been into Super Mario's and everything like that. I've been to, I mean, I think Bowser's interesting.
Yeah? Why do you keep making that face at me?
It's my Zoolander face.
Blue Steel.
Blue is like, oh yeah, and there's Magnum.
Magnum Steel.
I love Zoolander. I love Fred a little more though.
Oh, yeah. Fred.
I love Fred.
I know.
Damn it!
I know you love Fred. That's a huge sound wave on the audio.
Just me screaming again.
It just like breaks the mic, like just like.
The ghost of Fred starts haunting this room. He's not even dead yet. I'm killing Fred for my birthday. And I'm bringing him here.
Coolest birthday present ever.
Coolest birthday present, dead Fred. Top 10 things to get KITT for his birthday. Dead Fred, number 1. Number 2,
Anybody?
Zoolander.
Zoolander. Just
Children for Ants.
Zoolander.
Oh, I love it. Love that series. Love it so much.
I want to watch that movie tonight.
Well, yeah, but yes, do it.
When I get home, yeah.
I want to talk about my experience with other personality types that I've known that they are the other personality types. I tend to get, as an INTJ,
Yeah.
which is like a pretentious thing to say in the MBTI community. It's like, as an INTJ, I basically am better than all of you. I don't know why I went into a Snape voice with that. He's an INTJ too, but...
Oh my
by
god,
the way.
of course.
Yeah, he's an INTJ.
You are, yeah.
Actually, a bunch of characters I do relate to as an INTJ too is like Shockwave from Transformers. I
Oh,
wish
yeah.
I was him. He's an
Yeah.
INTJ, super
Yeah.
INTJ. He's
Yeah.
super awesome. Who else is there? Like Victor from Arcane.
Okay.
Remember?
You know, Walter
That's-
White.
Walter White, yeah. Walter White, that's me.
Yeah, I unfortunately, like, I remember ever since I found that I was actually an INFJ, I'd look at, like, the characters, and I relate to, like, when I was an INFP, I kind of relate to, like, I don't know. I don't want to say this because I know you don't like INFPs, but, like, I feel like INFP, like, the characters, I relate to a lot more, because it's mostly just Michael Cera characters.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I just feel like I am Michael
The
Cera.
thing about INFPs that kind of makes me so pissed off about them is that they have such a broad category when it comes to INFP.
Exactly.
Like, there's just so
and
many.
it's so
that
common. INFP is really common. I've met several different INFPs.
Yeah, most of the people I know.
And a lot of them never mind. I was going to say a lot of them I don't like. But I mean, there's a few that I actually
They
really
get on my
like.
nerves. I can
Yeah.
tolerate them, and sometimes I like them. So I've had good interaction with INFPs, but it always descends into, please shut the fuck up and get away from me.
Yeah.
I try to keep that
yeah.
silent, but sometimes I just leave, and it's called an Irish goodbye.
An Irish goodbye,
I
yeah.
just leave.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Irish goodbyes,
I'm a fan.
but
of them. I love
yeah.
them.
It's because you're Irish. I mean,
yeah,
I'm
I
Irish
am.
too, but I don't.
I'm more Irish than you.
Yeah, I'm
See,
more Jewish than
I'm more
Irish,
Scottish than
I care less about the Irish goodbye.
That's
I don't
fair.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. INFPs, they're tricky business. I'm fine with them as long as I'm not around them for too long, is the thing. I just can't
That
have any
makes
like
sense.
close personal relationship with them.
Yeah.
My mom's an INFP, by the way, which makes it
Oh.
interesting because she gets on my nerves a lot for a lot of
That-
different reasons.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And my dad is an INTJ.
Okay.
And I'm an INTJ, and the thing about INTJs is, like this is a pretty well-known thing in the MBTI community, is that they either get along great or they absolutely despise each other, and they're mortal enemies. And the thing is, yeah, my dad and I, we understand each other, but it doesn't mean that we necessarily like each other all that much. We it's this whole thing where it's like, you get me, and I appreciate that, but I also despise you for it, because
yeah.
I hate that you know me already. Like, it takes no effort.
I want to remain a mystery.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
annoying, because, like, the whole thing about INTJs is that we protect ourselves in certain ways like that, where it's like, we have certain things we've built for ourselves and certain systems that, like, when people can break them down so easily, it's annoying, because we put so much effort into it. So it's like, when someone already knows it and gets it, it's like, geez, okay, well, what did I do it all for? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. So
I
that's
don't
really
know.
interesting.
I don't know if the mic's picking that up.
Freakazoids.
Freakazoids.
The little freakazoids.
Little gremlins running through.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So, like, it's tense with my dad, and I've met other INTJs where it's like, we understand each other almost immediately. Like, it's a connection, but it's not necessarily like a friendly connection. It's like,
Yeah.
you get it, but I hate you for it. It's always this competitiveness that comes in, actually.
Yeah.
It's not even like I hate you for no reason. It's like I need to be better than you. I need to prove that I'm more of an INTJ than you are.
Oh yeah. Again with that really just gatekeeper
Yeah, basically.
sensibility.
Yeah.
That's like,
INTJs definitely have that.
I'm gonna be better being myself than you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be me so good you won't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't even know what to hit you, pal. You're gonna turn into an INFJ right here and now. You're gonna cry for it'd be INTJs are pretentious assholes, basically, is what they are. And I'm like, it's like 100%. INTJs, they shouldn't be around each other. Honestly. Keep them far away from each other.
They're like fish. Like, you can't keep them in the same tank
They'll
or
eat
else
each other.
they'll eat each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so far, I've only ever met, that I know of, one other INFJ, and that's Mr. K. That makes a lot of sense.
That makes so much sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I don't know. It's weird. It's
Yeah,
funky.
I have you as a friend as an INFJ, and another friend as an INFJ. I have 2 INFJ friends.
Oh, okay.
And I get along great with both of you guys. It's like,
Yeah.
it's genuinely very good friendships. I enjoy
Yeah.
myself so much. It's a lot of, like, humor that goes into it and everything, and it's
Oh,
still
yeah.
allowed for some, like, more deeper talks, but it doesn't have to be taken as seriously, it seems like. There's other
Oh, yeah.
personality types that
No.
I've met, like, of people that are, like, very dark and gloomy, but in, like, a almost uncool way where it's like you
Yeah,
can't have
it's
humor.
just sad.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
See, I think
don't.
you should be able to joke about that kind of stuff because
Exactly.
I'm a misanthrope and everything. I hate humans, but
Yeah.
it's like it's not completely negative. It's just like, have you seen the state of the world right now? Have you
yeah.
seen what people are doing? Can you blame me? Truly, I mean, just look at things. Don't
Oh,
be an
man.
idiot. Like, I understand positivity. It's not that I don't understand why people are positive or anything like that and can be like optimistic about stuff. But it's just I'm a decisive person. I choose to hate people because
Yeah.
fuck this shit. I hate it. And I don't feel the need to be drawn towards optimism with it. It's not a driving force for me. It's not motivation. I'm not as easily motivated by optimism. I'm not someone who works
Yeah.
on that, who operates like that. And it's not my choice really. It's like it's harder to operate off of optimism for me. Yeah, pessimism is just cooler. Honestly. It's just like
Yeah.
it's kind of just
You know, if
my
you're an
thing.
optimist, lame.
Oh, I flick you
Loser.
into a toilet.
Get away.
I flick you.
Goodbye.
Yeah, one of my favorite.
Get back on the loser train.
One of my favorite memes online is like it's a misogyny post, but it's not like it's not,
Misogyny post.
it's a misogyny post, but it's like a very stupid one. It's like, I hate women. I pinch women in the face. I think it's equally as funny if you did it for men, where it's like, I hate men. I pinch men in the face. It's the fact that pinching is the way you express your anger. It's really funny to me. Yeah.
I think this is a good place to
Wrap up.
wrap up.
Yeah.
It was
a pleasure.
Yeah. So, overall we have Chris is an ENTP. He's a 3W8 Enneagram, choleric sanguine, and
What you pronounce this like cholera.
choleric.
Cholera.
And SPSX.
Mm-hmm.
SP sex.
Yeah.
So,
Special sex.
special sex. Chef is an ISXJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, found out some new things about myself. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's been pretty cool. Pretty
This
awesome.
is a good episode, good solid episode. We are sponsored by nobody. We're sponsored by Kara.
Sponsored by Dead Fred.
Sponsored by Kara, Dead Fred, Miss York, Mr. V for letting us use the podcast
hell yeah.
room.
Of course.
Yeah.
Miss York is an INFJ too, by the way.
She is?
Yeah, and I get along
Oh
so
my
well
God.
with her as well because
No
I've
way.
had like a super long
Miss York, if you actually went through and listened to this whole thing,
oh, that'd be impressive.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
We're proud of you. Thank you.
Yeah. We love
Woo!
you.
Round of applause.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have Miss York as a teacher and find out
Yeah.
she's an INFJ because it just proves like me as an INTJ, I get really really along with INFJs for some reason, so that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And also Kara being one of my best friends, ISTJs, I
Mm.
can see it. It's always it's always one letter off for me for some reason. Like I
Yeah.
like people that are almost like me, but not really.
Yeah, it's like you're almost like me, but
You're just a little
you're
less.
not as
you're not
me.
my level, but you know.
Yeah. So that's pretty solid.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
to invite some people on here. And
Honestly.
see what happens. I'm down to continue
I'm
this.
down too.
It'd be cool.
This is our first episode, and hopefully not the
What
last.
are we gonna call the episode? Just Chris McLean.
Chris McLean Psychoanalysis.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Short and
put it
sweet.
on YouTube. Found a way to put it on Spotify.
That'd be it.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who
let's
knows?
see. Maybe we'll get traction, and people will be like, "These are some Some bad bastards. Yeah. I
These are
like
some
them.
sick,
These are some
sick people.
sick freakazoids.
Yeah. All right. This was Kit and Car Crash.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you.